Good evening, I'm Ces Oreña-Drilon.
I'm Pauline Verzosa.
And I'm Shawn Yao.
The big stories tonight. The PNP believes it has found the missing links in the case of several disappeared sabungeros. They are no less than the brothers of self-proclaimed whistleblower Julie Patidongan.
And the agriculture chief believes the still unamended rice tariffication law is slowly killing the rice industry. In a bit, we'll be speaking to DA Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel about this and other issues concerning the food sector.
And some good news to many members of the SSS or Social Security System. Starting September, the SSS is increasing retirement, disability, and survivorship pensions by between 5 and 10%.
Itong dalawang tao po na ito yung mga missing link doon sa mga kaso ng missing sabungero.
Two alleged missing links in the case of the disappeared sabungeros are now in the custody of the Philippine National Police. They are Elakim and Jose Patidongan, brothers of self-proclaimed whistleblower Julie Dondon Patidongan or alias Totoy. The pair's possible connection to the case was discovered via video. Elakim was caught by CCTV camera withdrawing from the bank account of a missing sabungero. Jose, on the other hand, appeared in a cell phone video escorting a sabungero in handcuffs. The said fight enthusiast was later reported missing. The Patidongan brothers were arrested in a still undisclosed Southeast Asian country and arrived in the Philippines on July 22. Jose has a warrant of arrest for robbery, while Elakim is wanted for faking his identity using the name Robert Bailon in his passport.
Itong dalawang tao po na ito, hindi niya po binanggit na mga kapatid niya. Hindi natin pinaputok sa media kasi nga gusto nating makuha itong dalawa na ito dahil naniniwala tayo ito yung mga missing link doon sa mga kaso ng missing sabungero.
Authorities have filed criminal cases against Elakim and Jose Patidongan, even as their testimonies could prove vital in the case buildup. The PNP is also probing allegations by a missing sabungero's relative that a CIDG official tried to coerce them into filing cases as well against alias Totoy.
The only way para po sila maging witness at ma-discharge as state witness, kailangan po silang sampahan po ng kaso. At kailangan po nating ipaintindi yun sa ating mga kababayan at siyempre sa pamilya po. Hindi po natin alam kung ano po yung nakakating na information sa family kung na ginigipit itong mga possible witness.
In other news, Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel continues to press for amendments to the rice tariffication law. Failure to do so, he warns, will kill the local rice industry. Tiu Laurel wants the said law, which liberalized rice imports, amended so government can regain control. Passed in 2019, the RTL opened the market to largely unregulated rice imports by private traders. But cheap imported rice has created a problem for local rice producers who continue to deal with higher production costs. Laurel plans to meet with leaders of Congress to rally support for tweaks in the RTL. House Speaker Martin Romualdez has already filed House Bill No. 1, or the Rice Act. This bill aims to restore the National Food Authority's regulatory powers, authorize the Department of Agriculture to restrict imports, particularly during harvest season, and allow the government to set a floor price for palay. And despite problems with rice imports, local palay and corn production have gone up. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority shows palay production rising in the first half of 2025, or an increase of 6.4% from the same period last year. The figure suggests that the DA may surpass its harvest target for the year.
And we now speak to the Agriculture Chief himself, Francisco Tiu Laurel. Welcome back to the Big Story, Secretary Kiko.
Good evening, Ces, Shawn, and Pauline. Glad to be back.
We understand that this is a matter of urgency, parang maybe 6 weeks or so. Is that correct? And can you explain why?
Well, it's very urgent dahil papasok na tayo sa harvest season at ang peak nito is September and October this year, no? And again, yung next harvest nito will be February, March next year. So it is quite urgent considering yung palay prices is very low.
How soon can Congress act to reimpose? What you want is to reimpose the original tariffs on rice imports. Is this right, Secretary?
Well, eventually, yes. Ang hiling ko is may balik sa 35% yan eventually. But initially, I'd like a two-step, no? One would be from 15 to 25 muna. Tapos after a while, to 35. Para hindi masyado ma-shock yung sistema ng value chain.
And if it were up to you, Secretary Kiko, ano po yung mas gugustuhin nyo, no? Maipasa itong Rice Act or maamyendahan yung rice tarification law?
Well, I think both naman will tackle the same issue, no? So, kung ano ho mas mabilis, doon tayo.
But we do understand, Secretary, that you were pushing for this in February, but you were outvoted by some of the economic managers of government.
No. There's no truth to that. Actually, wala namang ganun. Walang ganun nangyari.
Kasi you could have acted while Congress was not in session, and the President could have easily imposed the tariffs back through an EO.
I actually went to the Speaker about 2 months ago, no? About April, no? Or late March, about this. And kaagad naman tumugon si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Of course, I consulted also SP Cheese dito. At more or less agree naman sila in principle. No? But today, we actually met with the Congressman Martin Verga and the team of Congress. And nakita namin we still need to do a lot of staff work, no? Sa policy nito. So we're targeting sana mailabas to with the additional na kailangan namin na idagdag from the latest experiences we are having by October this year.
Actually, just to clarify, I think Ces was referring to EO 62, Secretary Kiko. Kung kailan daw ba mare-repeal because kausap namin kagabi yung Sinag at sabi nila as early as the February meeting, may talks na raw na pwede bang i-reinstate yung 35% tariff para po kasi bumaba na yung presyo ng bigas. And it didn't happen, so we just want to know kung possible ba magyari sa next resetting meeting ninyo.
Well, basically, nag-meet kahapon, and the DA has formally put down its position na i-increase nga to 25% na as soon as possible ang tariffs. No? It's being reviewed now by our economic managers and hopefully naman mukhang aligned naman ng konti. So it's just a matter of time.
Well, Secretary, I wanted to talk about agri-smuggling. Rice smugglers earned a special mention from President Marcos and his SONA last Monday, where the President said that he means serious business when it comes to the crackdown. Pero ang tanong, Secretary, ilan na po ba ang nahuli o nasampahan ng kaso ng DA dito sa mga cartel?
Well, I forgot the total number of companies na kasi dumadagdag like meron na naman kami. So maybe we're talking about more than 20 companies na, no? Nahuli or then with that, from what I recall, we have filed 6 cases na, no? Hindi ganun kadali mag-file ng cases. At saka ang pwede lang i-file ng DA is basically food safety issue. So it's up, from what I understand, Customs also will be filing. And I actually met with the Customs Commissioner Ariel and some CIDG with General Torre 2 nights ago with the National Security Agency at yun na nga, we're preparing na before the end of the year, meron na tayong mga mapapusasan yan.
Well, Secretary, as you mentioned, this is a whole of government approach, pero nabanggit nyo rin po 4 weeks ago na kasama sa mga hahabulin are the customs brokers themselves. Have you identified them already?
Oh yes, we have identified them already. Although I cannot disclose kung ilan but since it's an ongoing investigation, siyempre pag titira tayo, kailangan pulido ho at ayaw natin may sabit. No? We have only one chance at this and we intend to make good and solid dapat ang kaso.
Now, if we can move to the Rice Act that you want passed by October, will this include more funding for the NFA, because it was pointed out by the farmers groups that with 2% of the market that NFA is buying, it can hardly affect the price. It can hardly influence the entire rice market.
Oh yes, kailangan sa ngayon kasi with the existing law na buffer stocking lang kami, yung 9 billion a year namin sa aming General Appropriations Act can only buy 4 to 5% ng palay, no? But then of course kung mabago yung batas na pwede kami magbenta as we buy, easily yung 4 to 5% niya pwede maging 8 to 10% yan kasi papapaikot namin yung pera or even more. Then because of the 20 peso rice program, dadagdagan ng buying ng budget namin by 10 billion, aabot yung 18 to 19 billion. Wala po final of course, pero nandun around that range. So that will enable us to buy easily 10% of the produce. At with the new law na mapaikot na, pwede na kami makabili at paikutin yung pera ng up to 20% to 25% of yung palay production ng ating farmers.
So that will happen if it will be part of the rice.
Pag yung batas, hopefully.
And Secretary, kasi sabi nga no farmers groups no kagabi nung kausap namin sila na the next 6 weeks are very crucial for our local rice farmers dahil ang baba po nung farm gate price ng palay parang nasa 8 to 10 pesos if I'm not mistaken. Ano po yung short-term kumbaga recommendations or aid na maibibigay ng DA po sa kanila? Meron po ba kayong ganon?
Well, one is we have to dispose of our stocks faster no sa NFA natin. So yung mga very old stocks na palay ng NFA na medyo matagal na, pinapa-auction na namin yan this August, about 25,000 tons. Plus yung ina-accelerate namin yung 20 peso na rice. So from yung minimum wage earner na initially target na 120,000 individuals, ang target namin ng dole is 600,000 na. Then ini-expand namin yung mga kadiwa para mas lumakas yung offtake at mabawasan talaga yung so we can buy more, no? But ang crucial talaga is yung mapalitan yung batas But meron pa kaming isang paraan na I cannot disclose yet but I have recommended something to the President today lang. I'm still waiting for his feedback kung papayag siya ron at mukhang justified naman although I cannot disclose that yet because it might send the negative or positive things, no? At
we can be a trial balloon for you.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, Secretary, ano po ba ang implication kung binabaha na tayo ngayon ng murang imported rice, hindi ba? Anong implication kung hindi ito matigil?
Ang nangyayari ngayon sa aking konsultasyon sa importers mismo, sa local industry, tsaka within the DA and even with Congress and many people, even the businessmen. And basically, pag hindi natin makontrol yung limit, walang limit kung ilan ang pwedeng i-import ng bigas, kakainin niya yung local industry. At since mas madali, mas mura, maganda pa, kung pareho lang ang presyo, bakit pa magninegosyo ang mag-import na lang lahat, di ba? At talagang mauubos at clearly nangyayari na
At totoo bang, Secretary, even the US wants to export rice to us with zero tariff? Is that correct?
From what I understand, that was discussed pero hindi naman matutuloy.
Secretary, speaking of the U.S., well, the Philippines is now importing U.S. soy and wheat at zero tariffs following that free trade agreement between President Marcos and President Trump. But what would be the implication of that as well, especially to our local farmers? Lalo na kung mabaha din sila.
Sa soya, wala, no? Because we don't produce soya and we really need it. Actually, advantage sa atin yun dahil bababa ang feed cost natin for our livestock. So, that's something very positive. Sa wheat naman, for bread and gano'n, wala rin naman tayong wheat industry. So, may pag-asang maging mas mura din ng tinapay in the near future. Ang concern ng iba, yung tinatawag na feed wheat, no? Na pag na-import at zero duty, baka ma-affect sa corn industry natin. But sa lahat naman ng pagsusuri namin, even with industry, I just consulted industry, we don't really feel that natatawid o tatalon sa corn, no? And there are ways naman to address this para hindi ma-affect yung ating corn industry.
And finally, Secretary, aside from all these policies that you want enacted, how can you persuade, paano ba makukumbinsi ang mga rice farmers natin na magtanim? Ayaw na daw nilang magtanim dahil lugi talaga sila.
Well, of course, dapat talaga may matataas ang susi naman dyan ho, yung presyo ng palay, no? Kailangan tama yung presyo ng palay para kumita ang ating farmer. And basically, it's a supply demand issue yan eh. So the basic thing is we have to restrict imported supply. Yan ang key dyan.
So, and a floor price as well for the farmers.
Yeah, but yung floor price kasi, di ba, it's more complicated than that. While the floor price, it should be there parang isang tool, no, na gagamitin natin kung kailangan. But ang hirap sa totoong i-implement eh. Especially ngayon kung bago pa yan, marami pang palusot yan. So magiging effective lang ang floor price system pag may enforcement ka na, may budget ka na pag monitoring yan, may sistema ka na in place and everything. But for the immediate, that is not the solution eh. The immediate solution is to actually control the import volumes eh.
All right. Well, we thank you for your time and we hope this will be passed soon to protect our farmers.
Yes, I'm hopeful and meron din ako meeting with Senator Kiko next week para humingi ng suporta niya for this and of course the Congress lead and Senate leadership.
Pero kung Oktubre pa, baka aanin mo pa yung damo kung patay na yung kabayo, sir.
Meron nga kaming plano ngayon na but I cannot say it as of the moment but I'm hopeful na maaprubahan to ng ating presidente at this will be a significant move in order to address this.
Thank you very much.
Abangan natin.
Abangan natin. Kayo naman, inano nyo pa kami, binitin nyo pa kami. Well, thank you.
I just want to give hope to our farmers na
Don't
count we're doing everything and thinking about all possible legal ways para maayos yung problema nila.
Maraming salamat. Thank you for talking to us again, Department of Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel.
We're just going to take a quick break, but coming up is another conversation, this time with PhilHealth Chief Dr. Edwin Mercado. From zero subsidy this year, the state health insurer gets a share of at least 53 billion pesos in the proposed 2026 national budget. The Big Story will be right back. Stay tuned.
The Big Story is back with an announcement from the Social Security system. It will raise pensions over the next 3 years starting September this year without increasing contributions. Each year, retirement and disability pensioners will get a 10% increase while death or survivor pensioners will receive 5%. The increases will be implemented annually in 3 tranches, again, every September from 2025 to 2027. For minimum pensions, retirement pensioners will receive 2,420 to over 2,900 pesos by 2027. Disability pensions will rise to about 2,600 pesos, while survivorship pensions will go beyond 2,300 pesos. For average pensions, retirement amounts will range from around 5,600 to nearly 7,000 pesos. Disability pensioners will get over 6,600 pesos, and survivorship pensioners will receive more than 4,800 pesos. At the highest level, retirement pensions will go from roughly 24,000 to over 29,000 pesos. Disability pensions will reach up to 24,000 pesos, while survivorship pensions will exceed 23,000 pesos. Meanwhile, PhilHealth is also expanding its benefit packages. Also, the state health insurer is finally getting a share in the 2026 national budget, unlike last year when it got zero. Joining the big story tonight is PhilHealth President and CEO Dr. Edwin Mercado. Welcome back, Doc. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good evening, Session and Pauline. Magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Bidang-bida po ang PhilHealth sa sona ni Presidente. Kinakabahan na ba kayo na kakayanin nyo ba ang lahat ng mga libreng inanunsyo niya?
Hindi, kami po ay
Tuwan-tuwa.
malakas po ang loob at tuwan-tuwa po na kami po ay na-acknowledge na at we hope to live up to our promise po at talaga pong tatrabahuhin po namin yan.
With just 5 months to go before the year ends, may pondo pa po ba?
Yes po. In fact, maganda po yung aming collection from our direct members which are employed in the formal sector. Mukha pong dahil meron na pong mga benepisyong talagang nararamdaman ng ating membro, ay kusa na pong nag-aambag din itong ating mga direct mga members. At gaya po ng mga datihan ko pong naipahayag, dahil po meron tayong mga retained earnings ng mga nakaraang taon, ay ito po ay unti-unti na rin po nating ginagamit para nga po palawigin ang ating mga benepisyo ayon nga po sa utos ng ating Pangulo.
Pagkano po ang pinaplano for 2026? The President will soon be submitting the budget to the legislature.
So we have what we call our actuarially projected benefit payout for next year and also our operating expense. Yun po ay aming pong fina-finalize by September. But to give you a flavor po, this year, we're projecting a total benefit payout of about 305 to 310 billion compared to 187 billion the previous year. So it's actually a very hefty increase of about 88 to 90% kumpara po nung nakaraang taon. At ito po ay in spite ho na wala kaming nakuhang budget this year, pero talaga pong yung aming pong mga excess funds ay ginagamit na namin dahil po yung aming absorptive capacity po ay medyo gumaganda na at naibababa na po namin yung mga benepisyo dahil na-engage na po namin yung aming mga providers which are the doctors and hospitals. Kaya po yung tinatawag naming supply side o yung nagbibigay po ng serbisyo ay dumadami na po. Kaya marami na rin po ang access points na pwede pong i-avail ng ating members.
Almost double yung na-payout ninyo for this year, Dr. Mercado. Ang tanong is, masusustain ba natin ito? And yung last time natin nag-usap, meron ka ring realignment no, dun sa mga plantilla positions. Nakatulong ba yon or hindi pa yon nagkikick in?
Yeah, yung actual realignment po, hindi pa ho namin na yung efficiency, hindi pa talaga nagkikick in. Pero yung mga piniwa po namin na talagang medyo tinutukan yung cost, naging mas efficient in the process. Compared to last year, we just reported our mid-year financial statement last week. At natuwa naman po ang board kasi po yung aming pong projected na budget for this year ay hindi po namin nagamit yung kabuuan ng aming mga operating expense. At parang ang amin pong na-save is almost 50% po of the projected budget.
How did you do that? What was the secret behind that operational efficiency, Doc? And just in case may ibang nakikinig sa atin.
Una po, ni-realign ko po yung mga expenses on training and also on conferences. So yung iba po, ginawa na lang naming online. Yung iba, kung magkakalapit lang naman yung topic, pinagsama-sama namin. Yung mga hinold off muna po namin, as you know, yung aming budget for the 30th year celebration. So malaki-laki po yung natipid doon o nabawas. At yung po mga foreign travels din po na mga missions namin, medyo po ginawa ko po na very strategic. At pili lang po kung saan talagang may bang for the buck, kumbaga, kung saan makakapagbigay ng magandang na outcome dahil mas marami naman kaming ma-reach out ng mga overseas Filipinos. So yun po yung ilan sa mga ginawa po namin ng mga steps.
Well, Dr. Mercado, I wanted to talk about itong zero balance billing na inanunsyo po ni President Marcos. Maraming natuwa. But apparently, this only covers DOH hospitals. And I believe right now, 87 lang po yun at hindi covered yung mga specialty centers. Eventually po ba, Doctor, masasama na rin yung mga kidney, lung center, heart center?
But is that, sorry,
Go ahead.
may you add in your answer, what is the involvement of PhilHealth there in the zero billing? Or is that from the DOH budget?
It's a good question, Ma'am Ces. So, the PhilHealth covers substantially the statement of account of the patient. Pero hindi ho talaga ang datos namin for DOH hospitals. It's somewhere between 65 to 80%. Depende po sa efficiency nung nag-ooperate ng DOH hospital. So yung karagdagan po ay kino-cover po yan ng DOH from their own funds. Yung pong tinatawag na MOOE, yung kanilang mga operating expense na galing po sa ating general appropriations. At yung iba naman po ay covered po ng DSWD, yung kumbaga next layer po after the first peso coverage ng PhilHealth. DSWD, DMAIP, yun po yung karagdagan. At sapat na po yun to cover most of the basic accommodations po, yung mga nasa ward ng mga pasyente in DOH hospitals. Yung mga GOCC hospitals po, iba ang structure ng GOCC hospitals. Yan po yung heart center, lung center, kidney center, children's medical center. Kasi iba po yung kanilang charter as a GOCC, they have income retention and also hiring and firing functions. So talaga pong kailangan mag-generate po sila ng revenue to cover their operating expense. So ang kalimitan po ay yung mga doktor po na nagpa-practice dyan sa mga GOCC hospitals are not really the employed type of doctors that you see in the other DOH hospitals. So, yun po pinag-uusapan pa namin how to cover the ward cases also of the GOCC hospital. At
But
next
how
week
does-
na
How does PhilHealth come in? You're the funder. You provide the funding for these doctors and other medical expenses?
Yes po, based on the diagnosis and the procedure done, standard naman yung coverage ng PhilHealth whether you're in a private or a public hospital. So we substantially cover the cost of operations of the DOH hospitals. But they have a lot of also what you call qualified free services. Yung mga serbisyo po na hindi na nila sinisingil sa pasyente. At yun naman po, kino-cover ng kanilang MOOE or yung kanilang operating expense.
Related to that, kasi nabanggit na rin ni Dr. Mercado yung private hospitals. You also had a plan to engage private hospitals, no, to be able to provide the services that the DOH hospitals cannot and perhaps the GOCC hospitals cannot. How are you moving on that? Game na ba sila?
We just had a meeting with the Private Hospital Association of the Philippines, and they're open po to also discuss possibility of an NBB for the ward cases. Kasi yun naman yung nakasaad sa UHC law. Although meron pa kaming negosasyon pong ginagawa dahil may mga provision po doon sa implementing rules ng UHC na medyo gray area na nais po ng ating mga private hospitals na linawin muna.
I'd like to ask you, Doc, kasi mainit na usapin ngayon yung budget na sana ilagay na lang, according to Congressman Toby Tiangco, better for maging line item na lang yung mga medical assistants na pinipirma ng mga congressman, yung mga guarantee letters po. What is your position there? Is it better that way? And how can PhilHealth be involved in this? Na hindi yung kailangan maghanap ka pa ng guarantee letter, parang may utang na loob ka sa congressman, and it's
Saka
used...
mahirap din daw habulin minsan yung, di ba, parang habulin mo yung pondo ng guarantee letter. Minsan wala na sa posisyon. Nabanggit yata ni
Correct.
Dr.
And
Degram.
well, supposedly, ginagamit rin ng House leadership to, you know, whip their
patronage.
congressmen into following their positions.
Yung pong whipping into position, hindi ko na po makakomentan yun. Pero yung pong issue na talagang minungkahi rin po namin na i-centralize na lahat itong mga additional na mga health subsidy into PhilHealth. Dahil unang-una po, kami po ay may sistema. So, nationwide po yung presence namin. Secondly, meron po kaming mga adjudicators, yung nagre-review po ng mga cases kung they conform with the standard of care. At meron po kaming police powers also in negotiating with the doctors on their professional fees and also on the patients, especially for those D packages which are the catastrophic illnesses na on a negotiated basis na po kami. So parang using the power of the purse, kumbaga, the leveraging on the purchasing power of PhilHealth, kung mas-centralize nga po yung mga lahat po ng pondo under PhilHealth.
Well, Doctor, another thing that President Marcos highlighted in his SONA was the expanded benefit package. So kasama na po ang kidney transplant, dialysis, cancer treatment assistance, but on the ground, may ilang grupo po na nagsasabi na pahirapan. Mahaba yung pila, maraming requirements, there's categorization between indigent patients and those who can contribute. Ano po ba talaga ang criteria para doon? I mean, is there a difference between the benefits of those who contribute and those who do not?
Actually po, nakasaad din po sa batas natin na at point of care, hindi po kailangan na merong updated na contribution ng ating member. Although, of course, as a social contract, minumungkahi po namin na talaga pong lahat ay dapat na po contribute dito sa ating healthcare fund. So, ang ano po niyan, hindi po doon sa capability to pay, kundi po doon sa accommodation, kung saan po ang pinili ng ating pasyente, na kung saan po sila type ng room, ma-confine. Pag sila po ay nasa ward patients po, kahit po may kakayanan, hindi naman po namin pinag-ihigpitan na ganun po, i-cover po yun ng aming no balance bill at ng aming mga Z-package na no balance bill. Pero pag pumunta po dun sa mga suite rooms, yung pong mas maganda ang accommodation, meron po talagang out-of-pocket na babayaran ng pasyente. Bukod po pala doon sa inpatient, ang pinalawig po namin ay yung primary care din po, yung yakap. Dahil ang adhikain nga po namin, malayo tayo sa sakit kaysa pag nagkasakit lang na-avail. At ito po, meron tayong dagdag na 53 medicines, 75 medicines po yon. At meron po tayong e-wallet na 20,000 kada Pilipino pong mangangailangan ng gamot. Taunan po yan. At kailangan lang po magparehistro doon sa inyong primary care provider na pwedeng nyo naman pong gawin sa eGov app at kayo po ay magkonsulta. Pag kayo po ay nakita at nag-dispense po ng gamot, pwede na po through our app to actually avail it anywhere in the country, in any of our pharmacy chains initially that we accredit.
Like what, sir? Ano yung pharmacy chains na yun?
Mga maintenance meds. At saka sa
Saan
mga...
po? All?
75 po yun kasi nga po gusto namin instead na tayo ay magka-heart attack, ma-confine for dialysis, magkaroon po ng cerebral vascular disease or stroke, ay ma-prevent na at maibaba yung incident rate. Yung pong mga pharmacy chains, meron na pong mga 3 or 4 pero ihahayag po namin when we launch it hopefully by next week.
Okay. Anong app daw po? Sa eGov app ba? Or anong app po yun?
Yes po, sa eGov app, just go to PhilHealth and then go to, doon po sa NGAs, National Government Agencies. When you click it, makikita nyo po, alphabetical yon yung PhilHealth. Pagka-click nyo po, link na po yun sa aming sistema. Doon nyo na po pwedeng makita po yung mga provider po ng yakap at kayo po ay pwede na mag-register.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Doc. And congratulations, or is it too early? Sige, but more power. More power.
Pagdasal nyo lang po na matuloy-tuloy po ito. Salamat po.
Okay, always a pleasure having you over, Dr. Edwin Mercado Suki yan dito sa The Big Story, President and CEO of PhilHealth.
Now, on to another story. Former President Rodrigo Duterte wants his former spokesperson, Harry Roque, to stop interfering in his ICC case. Well, that's according to Duterte's lead counsel, attorney Nicholas Kaufman. Kaufman said Roque tried to sue the Dutch government in a, quote, crazy scheme that nearly compromised their defense. He added that Duterte wants Roque to return to the Philippines to handle his own legal issues. For his part, Attorney Roque denied meddling, saying he only wanted to join the legal team but backed out due to personal matters.
So nagtataka lang ako bakit ngayon parang akong sinisisi na hindi naman siguro crazy kung yung mga may tunay na malasakit kay Tatay Digong, naglingkod sa kanya, nagmahal sa kanya, at kapwa Pilipino ay maghahanap ng iba pang mga remedyo. I really adhere to the highest ethical standards.
We're pausing for another quick break, but we do have more for you. When we return, we introduce to you a company that turns ocean-bound trash into treasures. Keep it here.
Welcome back to The Big Story. The Philippines is one of the world's biggest contributors to marine plastic pollution, with 7 of the 10 most polluted rivers found right here in our country. Each year, an estimated 63,000 tons of plastic enter the ocean. 63,000? I think that's million. And that's from the Pasig Marikina river system alone. But since 2018, a local company based in Muntinlupa has been collecting ocean-bound plastic waste. The plastic Flamingo, or the PLAF, transforms that waste into durable, recyclable eco-boards used for furniture, infrastructure, and more. It's all part of their mission to fight pollution with maximum social impact. Time to put the spotlight on companies with sustainable initiatives. Welcome to Sustainability. With over 1 million kilograms of plastic diverted from the ocean since 2018, the PLAF continues to scale its impact across communities. And to tell us more about their work is Krisha Rubio, Partnerships Manager at the Plastic Flamingo, or PLAF. Ang cute ng name. Welcome to The Big Story, Krisha.
Thank you, Mrs.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
So you just marked a milestone recently.
Yes.
600
Metric
tons.
So it's equivalent to 600,000 kilograms of plastic waste diverted away from the ocean. That's actually through our partnership with a leading shipping logistic company.
Which is actually a French company?
French logistics company as well,
Okay,
yes.
okay. You started in what year?
So we started around 2018, and we started first around Putatan, Muntinlupa, and around first quarter of 2023, the PLAF experienced a devastating incident, a fire incident.
Ooh.
So it took almost half a year to establish what was left, and our current facility now is in Tunasan, Muntinlupa.
Okay, what you said, yung 600,000 tons.
Kilograms.
Kilograms. It's hard to imagine 600,000 kilograms
Yes.
was actually just equivalent to what was collected in Crising by the MMDA, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Wait, let me check my notes, but show us first, while I'm checking my notes, what you make
Yes.
out of the plastic.
So first, what we did is we collect plastic waste from our various partners, from various network, from the junk shops, LGUs, and our partners. And then we transform those plastic waste into eco boards. We call it eco boards.
Yan,
for
yung
this
dala-dala
one.
mo.
Yes. And
Okay,
then,
what's the production? How much have you produced so far?
so far, if we're going to calculate since
Let me pass
the
it
very
on to
beginning, it's
Pauline.
quite difficult. But since we reestablished in 2023, we have already transformed almost 300,000 kilograms of plastic waste into eco boards, and still counting.
And then, give us an idea, ano yung nagawa nung 300,000?
300,000. So right now,
Who buys them?
so it's actually a challenge. Honestly, integrating
Walang gustong bumili. Ang cute
yes,
naman.
integrating recyclable
Look at
materials
this.
is a little bit of a challenge for us.
Those are cute. The colors are so
Yeah,
cute.
this is
That's actually made of, it's a custom order. made to order for a single type of plastic. So, but the chairs is actually made out of
Halo-halong
proprietary,
kalamay na.
yes, formula. So this is what we really promote because, you know, Philippines is called, known as sachet economy. And sachets is quite difficult to be recycled. So that's why we have come up with eco boards like this out of multi-layered plastics. So now, since...
Are schools
Yes.
using this?
So we actually have donated through a private partner already 150 chairs in Laguna. And there are more, at around 1,900 already all throughout
And
Philippines.
it's very stable, no?
Yes.
And
It's so
light.
sturdy. Hindi siya lulutang sa
Well,
baha.
anyway, kasi
Yes.
maliit.
Hindi siya lulutang sa batin mo, di ba? Mabigat. Mabigat siya. It's very stable.
Actually, the adult size of the chairs actually weighs around 21 to 25 kilograms of plastic waste.
So how does it
So
work?
parang na-sequester mo na yung plastic waste that
Yes.
would have
20+
otherwise been
kilos.
ingested by turtles, whales, dolphins,
Yes.
etc. So, eto yung figures. Chris Singh, sabi ng MMDA, they got a total of about 609 metric tons. So that's equivalent already to what you have
Collected.
done in how many years?
Actually, 600 metric tons was just since 2022. But if we're going to count
years.
since 2018, the PLAF actually collected more than 1 million
1 million
kilograms.
na.
Yes.
And you said, Krisha, mahirap siya ibenta. And so you
Yes.
donate these through a private partner. So maybe pwede mag-participate through that rin. How does it work? Like, kunyari,
Like a
gusto na-
private company can buy from you to donate.
Yes.
Ganon.
Yes, that's actually how it goes. You know, because if you're going to upsell the boards alone with individuals, it's quite a challenge. But there are some who's really into sustainability or who really want to support the advocacy that we do. But, you know, in a big scale, in a larger scale, for us to be able to recycle more, we need to upsell more, right? So that's why we come up with school chairs. Not only we're supporting environmental impact, but we're also supporting the youth of the Philippines. And
Kulang tayo ng chairs.
yes.
Di ba? Well, classrooms muna.
Classroom muna. Saan natin lalagay yung chair?
No, but you can also use it to build classrooms, right? For
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Cute to sa floor.
Actually, there's in our office, the walling, the partitions is actually made out of our boards. The entire office is actually made out
And
of boards.
imagine what you're teaching also the students, na you're saving our oceans. Kasi I find it so ironic, we're one of the best beaches. We host
Yes,
one of the
exactly.
best beaches in the world. We're the diving capital. And yet we hold the distinction of number 3 as the world's biggest polluter of the ocean.
Yes.
Is that correct or even higher pa?
That was actually in 2025.
Oh,
but
no.
recently started in 2020, 2015 rather. Then in 2023, we became the #1 polluter of the ocean. And still standing until now.
We contribute 36%? Our tiny country?
Yes,
36%
sad to
of
say.
ocean waste?
Well, as Krisha mentioned, we're a sachet economy nga,
Sachet,
di ba?
oo.
So
Lagi
kaya
sa
nga
mga
maganda to,
tinitingin.
diba? Kulang tayo ng classrooms. Sana yun ang gamitin ng DepEd.
Mga contractor.
o-
Mga
Correct,
contractor.
mga contractors. Okay, show us your what you do. Ito yung machine na yan na
Yes.
gumagawa. And it's a technology that's...
So the entire process is
okay.
actually like a mechanical recycling, we call it, because the entire process we use machines. So after the segregations of different types of plastics, we shred them into flakes, into smaller flakes. And then since we have a proprietary formula, we mix all those types of plastics and then lay it down into the molding plate. Then it became the eco boards that we see.
This proprietary formula was developed in the Philippines or in France or...
It was developed by the Plastic Flamingo.
Oh, really?
Yes, so we have actually a certificate from IPO. So,
So it's trademarked.
Yeah.
And
Actually, they're
cost-wise,
beautiful.
they're
Kasi
super cute. Look at
you
the
would
colors.
think na,
Looks like
di ba,
terrazzo.
Oo, ginagawang
Yes.
parang yung mga shells or
Like
kapis
that.
or something.
And it's
but-
shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pwede to pang Christmas gifts.
Well, Krisha,
Pero you need to sell in bulk. We
Mahal
can't like...
ba? Compared to, let's say, kunyari, gawin mo siyang building materials, like you said, partition. So versus a plywood,
if we're going to compare with traditional materials like plyboard, it is really expensive. However, if we're going to analyze it like cost saving,
Di
Saving
ka
the
na
planet.
magpipinta.
yes, because
Walang
it's unique,
presyo.
it's aesthetic in its own way, and we want to interpret basura as something ng beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like,
Beautiful.
hindi siya yung parang, kasi basura, they have the notion of it's madumi. So we want to reinterpret the image of basura.
Well, you did mention, Christian, marami pa ring hesitation when it comes to choosing sustainable materials. What are some misconceptions that you'd like to debunk with materials like these? No, are they actually waterproof? How do they compare to traditional building materials?
In terms of technical specifications, I'm confident with the features and the specifications of the boards, because with wooden materials, great example would be the chairs. If nabaha yung naanod yung schools, definitely the chairs, it will rot already.
Ito hindi.
No, it will not. It will definitely plastic, decompose
Magbablock
millions
lang
of
dun sa
years.
drainage.
Pero at least pwede mo kunin lang ulit. Buo pa siya. di ba?
But the good thing with recycled materials is that if it masira siya, you can just give it back to us and then we'll recycle
Recycle it again.
Yes.
So I interrupted the price you were about to compare. Yung
Yeah.
question ni Shawn.
It's more expensive.
It's
More expensive. By how many percent?
I would say around 40%.
Ay. But
Are you working on making it cheaper?
Oh,
Maybe
nga,
with
yes,
volume
more
or...
supply. There's so much supply.
It's cute.
Yes, yes.
You can't, I guess, keep up with the supply. I mean, paano?
So actually, we
have to
provide a bulk discount for contractors, because we already have distributors who distribute our boards. Thank you to our partner who is really willing to support. They're also into sustainability.
Saan yan?
All of our boards are actually available at HMR branches.
HMR! There's one across,
Yes.
around the corner. Yeah.
Yes. So we've met them and then they offered put all your boards with our stores, and actually it's
How's
already
the take-up with the ordinary
Very good.
consumers?
really,
Kasi ito parang retail na. Pwede kang
Yes.
bumiling isang board or two or ano. Going floorboard, pwede rin, di ba?
yes.
And then ito, no, pag nabasa, dead na, okay lang. Kasi plastic. Plastic eh.
Does it absorb water? No.
No.
Oh.
We
You
did
just,
test
I guess,
it as
mop
well.
it or something.
Yeah, just use a wet rag
Eh,
and to
kung
clean it
nabaha,
up.
kunyari nabaha ka, ano mangyayari dito?
So
Mag-expand
we've
ba
been
siya?
Oo, parang yung kahoy kasi di ba nagiging puffy.
Oo.
yes.
Bumubuko.
We
Or
actually been
linoleum,
producing
mag-
eco boards
magpipil.
since 2022 or 2021. But ever since, we haven't heard bad feedback from our partners. And I'm actually from Batangas, and there's some beans in Batangas, and it's actually made from our boards. So
Somewhat? Sorry.
From their boards.
the garbage bins.
Ah,
The basurahan.
Yes. And then it's actually made out of our boards. And I just recently visited the...
local government
right.
ang bumili or
It's a private.
okay. What is also important and explain further to us, Krisha, yung social enterprise, who collects these plastic that you use and how do they make money? Diba? It's a community
You know,
based.
actually, I used to, and at the beginning of COVID, the lockdown, I used to drop off at a car dealership near my house. It was a collection point. It was my cousin-in-law, actually. I think she got in touch and she wanted to be a collection point because she also gives. So how does that work? And parang nawala na ata.
For a while, where I live, it has a partnership with FLAF.
It's a circle you were
Oo.
yeah.
Parang you segregate your plastic and then you collect it. Pero parang hindi na ata.
Actually, Pluff was known really talaga as a collection, through our collection effort. But because of the fire incident in 2021, it took us like 6 months to resume the operation.
That's what happened. Nasunog yung facility nila.
Yes.
Wait, may phone-in question tayo from our producers upstairs. How does this hold up in heat? And what if nagkasunog? Kasi medyo uso rin sa atin minsan.
Yes.
Okay, plastic.
So, what I'm always telling with our partners, with our stakeholders is, nagkasunog si Pluff. Everything got devastated by the fire. What remains is actually just the boards, our products.
No, really?
Fire retardant?
Exactly. Yes. There is just like burning at the edges, and then after trimming it, it's all good to go.
Pwede ba tong roofing material? Hindi naman.
Yes.
Ah, pwede.
We also did some eco roof. It's also available in HMR.
Wow! Galing! So ngayon, you're resuming your partnerships because medyo natigil.
Yeah.
Like you collect from condos, associations, ganyan.
Yes, we collect from various communities, LGU. We also have partner LGUs with some establishments. And we're trying to revive some of our before partners for the collection points. And hopefully, very soon.
If I remember correctly also, Krisha, you have to clean the plastic, di ba? Before you drop it off. Kailangan may contribution.
Oo naman!
Hindi kasi yung mga, di ba minsan...
Pahirapan mo pa sila.
Kawawa.
May gum or something.
Oo, or
dapat
malagkit.
dry, di ba?
Yes.
Dapat dry.
So actually,
I can
the
assume
reason
doing
for that is most especially because a lot of plastic is because of food packaging. And if there's some residue, food residue, it actually risks like health risk or hazard for our employees, and also if they're a private company who collect those plastic waste, it also poses risk to your own employees. So that's why we want to protect all of stakeholders, all the workers within the network. So that's why we request it to be clean and dry.
Pero how are you a social enterprise nga? Explain to us how you choose those who work for you.
So the Plastic Flamingo is actually a social enterprise. So our mission is to reduce plastic pollution with maximum social impact. So what meant by maximum social impact is that most of our workers, production workers, I would say all of them are actually from low-income families that we provide opportunity, livelihood opportunity from them. And a great example was our current warehouse supervisor. She actually is just a regular housewife. And then when she got in touch with the PLUF, she started as just a sorter, and then she became a team leader, and now she is now our warehouse supervisor. So we acknowledge that not everyone could easily get a job, opportunity. So that's why we want to provide them the best, all the health allowance, the scholarship with their children, and then also skills development.
So, kumikita na ba kayo as a company? Or are you still subsidized by the French company?
So, Plastic Flamingo is actually founded by a French couple, but we're actually a Filipino company. So, right now, I wouldn't say that we're really earning that much because of the fire incident. And we're actually supported by grants and funding as of the moment.
But eventually, the aim is to be able to stand on your
exactly.
own. Okay, bibili na kami ng posters.
Pwede mo mag-order for ng products for Christmas? Are you open to mga ganong bagay-bagay?
Sure. The boards is actually customizable. If you have like a requirement or preference, just let us know. You can message our social media pages or email us at hello@thepluff.com.
Okay. And the thickness can be also changed.
Yes.
If you want
so
something.
that one is actually 10 millimeter and this one is actually 20.
Super cute.
All right. Thank you so much, Krisha,
Thank you so
for coming
much.
to our show, and more power to you. Hopefully, you can collect all the sachets that will go back into the ocean. So that was Krisha Rubio of Plastic Flamingo.
All right, and on that note, that's it for the big story this last day of July. Thank you so much for watching.
That's right. We are one use, all
day na.
sides, all the time. August na bukas.
August na.
And we'll be back here tomorrow at 7:30 as per usual. See you then. Have a good night.